You know, once upon a time, this kind of video topic was one that we would explore pretty often during the rebuilding days of the Vancouver Canucks, and some of the other days where the Canadiens and the Wings were bad and they were hyping up their prospects and younger players. We would frequently make videos like this where we'd talk about the prospects, we'd talk about the rookies, we'd talk about the young dudes, and what some other NHL legends would say about them. Remember that time that Victor Hedman said that Philip Broberg was the best Swedish defenseman since Victor Hedman? Yeah, that's the kind of thing that we're talking about. And that is kind of in a similar vein to what this video's topic is about. Because today we are heading over to Montreal and taking a look at some comments made on RDS Sports Talk Radio. This is on their Sank Asset show, and on the program yesterday, they had NHL legend, Colorado Avalanche retired number Stanley Cup champion and Boston Bruins stud, Ray Bourque, on the program. And he went out there and said this about Lane Hutson. I've never seen someone move with the puck the way he does with his little movements. I was worried about him at first, but he's incredible. He's going to win the Calder this year, and the Habs are going to make the playoffs. They'll be a tough team to play against. And I think that really puts it into perspective just how good Lane Hutson has been. But of course, you don't need me or Ray Bourque to go out there and say it. We all know that the guy is great. But now, does this not just validate everything we have seen even further? Now, I know you can say, hey, is there really a need to validate it? Why can't Canadiens fans just sit back, relax, enjoy, and watch Lane Hutson do his thing and not really shed a tear if anybody else doesn't see him in the same way that Canadiens fans do? But hey, Canadiens fan or not, Ray Bourque is a fan. Take a look at this. He also said, I think Quinn Hughes in Vancouver, I think they're comparable. The way they control the game, the way they skate, I think the best D-man in the league is in Colorado, Cale Makar. These two guys, the way they control the game, are very comparable to Lane Hutson, and it's very impressive. Now, that's Ray Bourque going out there and saying that. One of the best defensemen of all time. A guy who, in his prime, was the best defenseman in the league, who unfortunately was not able to win the Stanley Cup until his day, I say day, singular, because he only had a season and a half pretty much, with the Colorado Avalanche. But Ray Bourque was a multi-time 90-point defenseman in the NHL. He won the Norris 5 times, and he's the all-time NHL points leader for defensemen. Yeah, right? Not like that's a big deal or anything. But Ray Bourque, with 1,500 points in 1,600 games, definitely knows what he's talking about when he says that there are some defensemen that are better than others and that Lane Hutson can be comparable to some of the best in the league. This is some of the same discourse that I feel like we've brought up here on this YouTube channel. Just the way Hutson can move and how he controls space and how he facilitates play, how he can be every second pass in the offensive zone. Heck, I'd even debate and say that Lane is more prone to attacking down low than Quinn Hughes is with the puck on his stick. Quinn, I feel, has been doing that a lot more lately, but just holistically, I don't think Quinn has done this as much as Lane did when Quinn was a rookie. Of course, Lane Hutson being placed in the spot that he's at now, with all the points that he has scored and the fact that Matvei Michkov had a pretty rough go this season with John Tortorella at certain parts, Macklin Celebrini missed a ton of time, and the Calgary Flames had fell out of the playoff race, which unfortunately reduces Dustin Wolf's chances of winning. Lane Hutson, I feel, is starting to pull away in the Calder Trophy race. I made a video earlier on this YouTube channel talking about that same Dustin Wolf. He's been so good in Calgary that you got even some folks saying that he should be nominated for the Vezina. And of course, the responding argument would be, hey, if he's not even a lock to win Rookie of the Year, how could he be a lock for the Vezina nominations? And ultimately, it just boils down to, importance and the fact that Dustin Wolf is one of the best goalies in the NHL when it comes to save percentage. He's top 15 in the league, and he's a part of a team that would not be sniffing the playoffs if it wasn't for him and his presence on it. Not to mention the fact that he is the most important player on the Calgary Flames. He is the guy who is really giving them the best chance to win every single night compared to every other roster player. Lane Hutson doesn't have that same magnitude of importance, I would say, because with Nick Suzuki there, with Montembeault there are a bunch of dudes that have a stake in the importance of Montreal Canadiens hockey in helping the team win games. Dustin Wolf, I think, has a bigger percentage of that in Calgary, and that's why the Hart Trophy, Vezina Trophy idea does exist there. Hutson is, however, talented in his own way, and while he may not be the sole reason that Montreal is winning games, he is a good damn part of it, and to see these comparisons be made to Quinn Hughes, who is in a similar vein to Dustin Wolf, the lifeline, the heartbeat of the Vancouver Canucks, you just kind of have to think about where Lane Hutson is going to go as he continues his NHL career and eventually develops more confidence, more skills, more abilities. He's already at a 60-point marker this year in the National Hockey League, and that's all as a 21-year-old rookie. That's ridiculous. Can he get 70 points next year? Can he get 80? Can he get a 90-point season at some point? And can he win the Norris? Quinn Hughes did all of this stuff whilst growing through the same age here, and now he is one of, if not the best defenseman in the entire NHL, and I think on any given day he can be the number one guy. It's just for this season I feel like he missed too much time and therefore fell out of the race, especially with Makar and Werenski doing as well as they have. But all it takes is 1 year for one of these guys to fall off and for Lane Hutson to absolutely explode, for him to take that Norris too. I definitely think he's got one in the chamber before his retirement 15, 17 something years from now. Of course, knock on wood, everybody's still available to play and that his career doesn't get derailed by anything out of his control. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Lane Hutson and his comparison here from Ray Bourque. Quinn Hughes, Cale Makar. Those are the names that Bourque puts in the same conversation as Lane Hutson. Do you think it's accurate? Do you think it's only fitting? Are you surprised to hear this come out of the mouth of one of the best NHL players of all time? And bonus question to y'all. Assuming Lane Hutson retires at 37, 38 years old, 39 years old, how many Norrises does he have, and what's his career high for points in a season? Is he a one-time Norris winning guy who has a 95-point year? Does he win multiple Norrises? Does he max out at 83 points or 85 points? Does he get 100? Let me know your thoughts and guesses in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.